I choose to be happy. Oh, I'm finally free. Yeah, I know what I need. I found it in me. I choose to be happy. I'm finally free. Oh, I'm gone for good. Don't you dare say I'm misunderstood. Let me go like you know you should. 'Cause I'm gone, 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 gone. Oh, I'm gone for good. Don't you dare say I'm misunderstood. Let me go like you know you should. 'Cause I'm gone for good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't miss me too much. Said I'm gone.
Disclaimer. Let's Talk About the Music, LTATM Radio, is broadcast on Spreaker.com. We play only independent musicians from across the globe. We get all of our music from friends and MusicSubmit.com.
Woohoo! Let's Talk About the Music is starting.
What is Let's Talk About the Music, and why are you so excited about it?
It's a podcast with controversial talk and a global mix of music.
Oh, cool. How and where can I listen?
Just go to letstalkaboutthemusic.com and click follow to be sure to get all the info about the bands that are playing and see their music videos. Then click on Spreaker or iTunes to listen live and even chat with other listeners and the host herself.
What day and time is Let's Talk About the Music on?
Every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time.
I think I'll tune in. Thanks for the info.
Hey, Shels, you remember a few episodes ago we were talking about our Halloween special and haunted music venues?
That's right, yeah. We were actually searching the top 10 most haunted music venues in the world to be our ghostly honored guests.
Well, surprise, surprise, Club Congress from Arizona was chosen to join us on the show and talk about their history and haunted activities.
Pretty awesome. I'm really stoked. It has a lot of history. They've been on TV shows like Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
It's
Also,
gonna be spooky.
I can't wait. Plus, we added one more thing to the Halloween show. My good friend Lori Ann, who's happened to be our tarot card reader, will be joining us on the air and in the chat room to give our listeners a reading.
Well, that sounds fantastic. So, hey, everybody, join us on October 26th, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, live only on Spreaker. Let's talk about themusic.com. More details will be there. Go there now.
Hey Trump fans, this is Scott Gerling, aka One Man Rock Band. The only American artist writing Trump tunes will be on Let's Talk About the Music, Wednesday, November 2nd at 8 p.m. Pacific Time to talk about the basket of deplorables and all those who oppose them. Bring your sense of humor and your biggest gun. Talk to you then.
Hey everyone! Want to know how you can help Let's Talk About the Music stay on the air and earn some VIP privileges at the same time? Go to patreon.com/LTATM radio to find out how you can get involved. That's patreon.com. Let's Talk About the Music.
1, 2, 3, 4. You really had me going, running, running, running till I hit my forehead on one big hell of a rock. Had a red time, that's it. So maybe I was a condition to worry about people always pulling bullshit. I've got you figured out. I know what you're all about. Ooh, you thought that you had me. Ooh, you thought that you had me. Ooh, you thought that you had me. I wake rip the brakes out your car. Now you're seeing stars. Ooh, like me, I'm coming to you in threes. Option Renaissance and reason. That's a realist recipe. And I'm cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Can't get any better. Born a sinner, becoming a winner. Thought I was a defeated. Now I'm singing, screaming. Ooh, you thought that you had me. Ooh, you thought that you had me. Ooh, you thought that you had me. I will clean it right up for you, baby. Ooh, you thought that you had me. Ooh, you thought that you had me. Ooh, you thought that you had me. I will clean it right up for you, baby.
Sotaria! Oops! So tell us about that song real quickly. Oops!
Oh my gosh. So, I was working with a producer, and they were trying to not give me any rights on this song that I recorded and wrote on. Like, I didn't write the whole song, don't get me wrong, but I wrote on it, and he was just like, before I was leaving, he was trying to tell me that, like, no, you're not going to get rights, you're just the artist on there, and that's it. And I was like, dude, I wrote on at least 25% of the song I wrote. And I wrote the hook, which is like the main part of the song. And so I was so heated by that. I just left and like I ended up like not even signing anything, which I freaking should have, but oh well, you know, that's life. And I was on an airplane on the way back because I was in California when I did this, and I was still so mad the whole airplane ride, and I had this beat in my head, and I just started writing that song, and it was just like, oops, you thought that you had me, and that's how that song came to be. But that was definitely one of the first times I went out to California and started getting into the writing world and like the recording world, and I'm like, man, these people have no hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's definitely, it's, oh man, it's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, survival of the fittest.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So that goes into our next segment of a question, being a woman in the music industry. Tell us about your story.
Well, I guess that's kind of one of them.
Right.
I feel like definitely, especially since I produce a lot of my stuff, that it's a boys' club for sure, especially behind the scenes. And especially the more you get into like writing for bigger artists and things like that. I literally every single place I went, every single like networking event I went to, I probably saw like a handful of women there, and that was like, whoa, what's happening? Like I was like in shock because I was just like, this is like a boys' club for sure, man. But what I also noticed is that when I would try and work with certain people, they wouldn't trust me to help produce it because it's like women don't do that or something.
What?
You know, like they're just like songwriters. You know, like oh, she can write a song like with her guitar, like her piano, and then we'll just produce the rest and this and that. And it's just like I get that you want control, and I'll let you have some control, like a lot of it, but like you should still take some of my input like seriously, you know. But I think it also could have been something to do with how young I am. I don't know.
Yeah. Could be.
A lot of how the industry goes these days, it's like, for one, they're always looking for younger artists because the establishment, so to speak, will always do what they can to kind of steer those younger artists in a direction that they want them to go. Being younger, they assume they're impressionable and not super headstrong. Or if they are headstrong, they think they can kind of nudge them in a certain direction and get them fired up about something else and distract with it. And the other thing, too, is on the other side, there's unfortunately a lot of musicians, both male and female, that kind of feel like, oh yeah, I'm getting some notice, so these people know what they're doing, I'm just going to go in and do my thing, and I'm just going to get a bunch of money and be famous. And they don't think about it, and they let these people just get away with just running roughshod, and they don't care because they're in the camera, they're in the spotlight, they're celebrities now.
Yeah, I can't do that. I definitely that.
Yeah, you want to own you want to own your craft, own what you do, and not
Yes.
anyone take anything away from it because you never know what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, and I just I like to be involved. Like I like to know what's going on. Like you cannot pull the shades in front of my eyes. Like I'm not just a silly singer who just wants fame or something, you know, like I'm doing this for a reason. Like I have purpose as to why I write things and how I say them and what backs it up. And, you know, it's just, I think that was definitely like one of the first things. Like I had to like literally every meeting from then on, like, cause that was my first time I went out to California and I had that experience. And my following times that I went out there, I just, you know, you got to just stand up and stand firm. You know, there's no just like, oh, well, maybe you should do this, or maybe I can do this, or do that. No, it's like you literally need to be like, do that right now, or try that out. And like, and it sounds like you're just being rude or demanding, and it's just like that was the only time I actually got like taken seriously. When I was like, because it's like, oh, okay, she like knows what she's doing, you know, like I don't know. But then, on the other hand, what else? What other experiences have I had? I've had really good experiences in Tacoma, to be honest. Those are like my best experience. I work with a producer out here, Quentin Davis, and he is just good people. We work on a lot of commercial stuff together, and then he also helps me with my own projects, and we try and write songs together to get placements and things like that. And it's one of the best working relationships I have ever had. So,
but because Tacoma rocks.
I know. It's a really good relationship I have is with Kim Archer out here. She's also another local artist, and she's one of the most kind women you could ever meet in your life. She's basically mentoring me and helping me with everything that I can do. And like anytime I have a question, I just call her up. And that's the thing about Tacoma. It's just like people are like, they're here to help. And it's like, I was just talking about this to one of my friends, and it's like, even if you're still in the same lane, like I'm into R&B and funk and there's someone else who's into R&B and funk, they wouldn't be like, oh, I don't want her around. Like, don't talk to her, or this and that. Like, they'd be like, oh, you want to have a show together? You should open up for me.
I know.
So it's just amazing.
See, that sounds really familiar, because that's one of the good things about from where I used to be in Pennsylvania in local bands. And for the most part, a lot of the bands tended to be really kind of close-knit, and they were really kind of watched each other's backs, but there was a clear separation between the bands that were really close like that would help each other out, and the bands that weren't, that would kind of spread things around town, like, oh, don't work with these guys and don't do this, and just were generally